Most people have probably heard of Bali in Indonesia, but many fail to venture outside of this tourist paradise to explore some of the 17,000 other islands that Indonesia has to offer. I heard of an island jam-packed with adventure that's so close to Bali it's almost touching, and I couldn't resist the opportunity to once again explore a new place in this fascinating world we live in. Welcome to Java. So that's right, I am here to explore Java, or more specifically, East and Central Java. I'm here for around 8 days, and I want to get out there and explore as much of this place as I physically can. But today, in this vlog that you guys are watching, I'm gonna be going on what is probably East Java's most popular tour, which is 2 days, 1 night visiting Mt Bromo and Tumpak Sewu waterfall. Now, these places, I've seen them online, I've watched a couple of YouTube videos, they look epic, and I am here to see whether it's worth the hype and whether you should also come here and experience these cool things. All right, first things first, I am just packing up my room. I'm staying at the beautiful JW Marriott in Surabaya. Really nice hotel. And actually, as far as JW Marriotts go, this is probably the best value JW Marriott I've ever stayed in my entire life. Really quite manageable prices in Western standards. The first things first, I have been told by my guide that I'm gonna need one of these, which is a windproof jacket. At Mt Bromo, it does get quite chilly. He's gonna be coming and picking me up at midnight tonight from here in Surabaya, and then we drive down to the Bromo area and the fun begins, and you guys are coming with me. So packing my gear here, and then I have to clear up all of this mess around here. Also just wrapping up some admin as I just finished an awesome escape in Bali with our adventure company, Where Next Escapes. If you're interested in coming away with us on adventures all around the world to cool places to do activities like surfing, hiking, wakeboarding, and lots of other fun stuff, I'm gonna link our company down below and you can take a look, and if you would like to join us, please, we'd love to have you. Now I'm gonna go and relax for a little while and then the adventure begins. Let's go. Thank you.
Adam.
Hi, yes.
I'm Dion.
Dion, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
It took about 2 hours to get to the Bromo area in a normal car, where we've now switched to a Jeep. It's now 2:15 and we're heading to the volcano. The sunrise is at 5:30. I don't know if I'm spending that entire time in the car or whether there's some other part to it, but I guess we'll find out together. Clearer now on exactly the time schedule for today and the reason that we're here so early. So it's 2:15 now. My guide Salaman said that it takes about 45 minutes to get to the crater, which means we're going to be there at 3 o'clock. And when I asked why did we get there at 3 o'clock, it's basically because of how busy it gets. The later you get there, the further away you have to park and the further you have to walk. So you get there early and then spend the next from 3-ish, depending on traffic, until sunrise, sitting and waiting in a coffee shop. So that sounds fun. Okay, so we start the climb. We wanted to beat the crowds, right?
Yeah.
So we left a little bit early. How long does it take to go up?
5 minutes.
Oh, only 5 minutes.
Only 5 minutes.
Okay, how long will we wait at the top?
I think 1 hour.
An hour? I'm gonna freeze. Okay, but the things we have to do to get the good spot, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. so we're here, Brow Hill. It's 4:24. Salman has brought me down here nice and early because, as you can see, we're the only people here. But the only problem is we're standing on this ledge and it's very, very cold. So I definitely wish that I'd bought a few more layers, because right now I'm wearing shorts. Yeah, long pants. I would definitely say if you're gonna come here, wear long pants, couple of layers, and the windproof jacket. I'm very glad that I bought this hat. The hat actually was 35,000.
Yeah,
35,000 rupiah, about $2?
I think $2.
Around $2 US, which is great value. And you can see actually everybody that comes up here pretty much buys one of these hats because they don't realize how cold it's gonna be. So now we've got about 45 minutes, right, to freeze our butts off. And then hopefully we're gonna get a beautiful sunrise of Bromo crater and the rest of the landscape around. Right now it's pitch black, but yeah, let's see. That was beautiful, really, really amazing. Definitely one of the best views that I've ever seen, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad I'm coming down because I was so cold. Salman was saying it's 6 degrees up there and I'm wearing shorts, and just I'm so glad that I got this windproof jacket at least and this hat, but gosh, I need to warm up. Okay, so what goes up must come down. We're now heading down with all of these jeeps to our next location, the actual Bromo crater. Where you first come to watch the sunrise, or where I've come to watch the sunrise, is not on Bromo, it's on a nearby hill that looks out onto Bromo. I've never seen so many Toyota Land Cruisers in one place before. I feel like I'm at a car festival. They're all like pimped up, different colors, different sizes. It's very cool. But oh, I'm squeezing through, make myself small. Salman, can you remember which car is ours?
Yeah, I know. The car is for the color, yellow color.
Okay, it's the yellow one.
Yellow.
Actually, I haven't seen too many yellow ones, so try and find a yellow car, because most of these other ones, do they try to make them all different so they're easier to find, or? Yeah.
Now 6:47. We got in the car about 6:05. Basically the road here gets completely blocked with cars that just park across the bottom. And what that means is, because we're about halfway up, until those cars start moving, the clients have to come down the hill and get to the cars. Until those cars start moving, we don't go anywhere. So we wait. I'm not in a rush. It'd be nice to move, but I'm not in a rush.
We're on the move. So now that we're moving,
Yeah.
how long do you think it'll take from now?
I think 45 minutes.
45 minutes in traffic and then 45 minutes to drive. Okay, 90 minutes to the crater. Let's see. So it's now 6:53.
Yeah.
Right, we have arrived. We're now in the caldera, which is where all the jeeps and everything park up, and then people walk up to the main Bromo crater, or if they don't want to walk, they can get a horse. We're not lazy, are we? Huh? We're gonna walk?
Yeah.
No horses for us.
No.
No. How long is the walk up?
I think 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Easy.
It's easy.
That's a walk in the park.
And that is where we are heading, to the crater.
Salman, how much does it cost to take a horse?
The riding horse, this is around 300 for one person until 400.
300 to 400,000 rupiah.
Yeah.
Okay. I just use my legs, I think. 300 to 400,000 rupiah, that's about 10 to $15 US dollars.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll put the exact conversion down below if you would prefer not to walk, if you want to take the horses. I like to take every opportunity I can to get these legs moving. Okay, welcome to the official Mt Bromo crater. Last eruption was in 2015, and apparently then the sulfur lake was like halfway up the walls. Now it's gone all the way down. They're still very, very active. You can hear the sound of it rumbling underneath. Time to move on. Two things that I want to mention about that I didn't know that now I do. Number one, if you can, take some kind of face covering because it's very, very dusty. So whether that's a dust mask or like a scarf or something like that to cover your face. Otherwise you're literally eating sand the whole time. And if you suffer with asthma or any kind of lung condition, make sure you have an inhaler or something with you as well, or maybe even consider not doing it. The second thing was with the horses. Some of those horses look very, very unwell. I do not like the idea of taking a horse for such a short journey. It's a 20-minute walk. And I'm not saying this for all of them, some of them maybe, but some of them were definitely very, very unwell and not very well looked after. Drooling from the mouth, tongues hanging out. It was very sad. I didn't like to see that. And now it's time for breakfast! Love it.
Hello.
How do you say enjoy your food? Like bon appetit?
Oh, selamat makan.
Salamat makan.
Selamat makan.
Okay. Salamat makan.
Selamat makan. Okay.
Whew. I have arrived to my hotel. I am in need of some sleep, that's for sure. It's now 12:30. Feels like it's been a very, very long day. Oh my goodness. Yeah, leaving at 12 o'clock midnight. So that means I've been going for 12 hours now. But a quick summary of today. Actually, first, check out my look at the state of these shoes. I mean, these were not exactly in great condition in the first place, but don't wear good shoes. Don't wear good shoes when hiking Mount Bromo. It's funny, I sent Ina a message earlier and I want to read it to you guys to give like a pretty easy summary of the experience from today. Because she asked, you know, what was involved, what did I do, blah, 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 blah. So here's what I said. I said, so basically you freeze your ass off for a couple of hours. I was very underprepared and wished I had worn long trousers and had a proper winter jacket or a base layer. Then the sun rises and it's spectacular and kind of worth the discomfort. You head back to the car, you have to wait about 45 minutes for all of the cars to move, as the road is completely gridlocked. And I went on and I said, yeah, so a very long and uncomfortable morning, lots of waiting around and being cold, but somehow I would still do it again in a second. So I think that kind of sums up today. Like, you have to get up very early. It's an uncomfortable journey. You're gonna be cold, especially if you're underprepared like I was. There's a lot of standing around waiting for the sun to rise. There's a lot of standing around when you're waiting for the cars to get out of the way. But it was a really cool experience, and it's now, you know, it's only lunchtime the next day, so it's like, it's flown by. It hasn't taken up that much time. Yeah, I'm quite tired. I'm gonna take a nap. I'm very dusty, need to have a shower. But really, really cool. I highly recommend it. I know there's been some mixed reviews on Mt Bromo as to whether it's worth it or not. I enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow when we go to Tumpak Sewu. It's a very famous waterfall. You may have seen sort of famous Instagram shots with the waterfall and the mountain in the background. It's another early morning, getting picked up at 5 a.m, so not quite as bad. And then head down there, should arrive at around 7. I want to try and get there when it's light, but before the crowds really get there. So I'm hoping that 7 o'clock will do that. If not, I guess you guys are gonna find out with me. But for now, I'm gonna take a rest. So I'll catch up with you in the morning. Before I go, I thought I'd just say, the hotel that I'm staying in, it's called Wiz Prime. I have booked all of my experiences with East Java Paradise Travel. I'm not doing this for free, I'm paying everything myself. It's a really good value tour. The idea is to do all these cool things and share it with you guys. So now, see you in the morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is now 5 to 5 this morning. Feels like a lay-in compared to yesterday when I was up at, well, it was actually the day before I was up at 11:30 in order to leave at 12. It's now 5 to 5. I'm getting ready to go. So we've got a 2-hour drive to get to Tumpak Sewu from the city of Malang, which is where I am right now. 2-hour drive, and then apparently there's a bit of a hike that we're gonna do down to the waterfall. I think we're seeing a couple of different waterfalls today, and then ending up at the end of the day should be all the way back in Surabaya. I have left it pretty open to the tour agency to basically dictate my time. I've said, look, I want you to show me the best that East Java has to offer. So I trust them with the time. So we're gonna get going now. The hotel offered me a breakfast box to take with me. So I've got some nasi goreng waiting downstairs for me. Let's go. It's foggy.
Yes.
Wow.
Sorry?
I said, let's hope it's not like this at the waterfall.
Yes. Fully.
Alright, we're here now at the waterfall. Just before 7 actually. It shows on the map that it takes 2 hours to get here from Malang. It ended up taking us 1 hour and 45 minutes, which is not bad. But we arranged to meet the guide here at 7. So we're just waiting for the guide and then we'll head down. I've also seen that it looks, I mean, I know this sounds like it makes sense, but it looks like it's pretty wet. Even the driver said, be prepared to get wet. So I guess my shoes are gonna get a wash, and I'm taking my rain jacket down there with me. Looking forward to it. Right now it's not too busy, which is good, because, you know, we don't like the crowds too much. I think after 8 o'clock it gets pretty busy, but people are slowly arriving now. I guess everyone tries to get here around the same time. So let's see, stay tuned. We're gonna head down and see this waterfall. My guide has arrived. This is Alvin.
Yeah.
We're going to be heading down now. We've got a bit of a walk, about 20 minutes down to get to the waterfall. Yeah, am I going to get wet? Yeah. Is there a lot of water?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting wet. So far so good, looks pretty epic from the top, and now we walk to the bottom. So from what I have seen online, I've read a lot about these steep, slippery steps on the way down to the waterfall. Yeah, they're pretty steep and they're pretty slippery, so take care. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I guess that's the bit where people have said, be prepared to get your feet wet. My feet are definitely well and truly wet. So either wear trainers that you don't mind getting wet, or wear sandals that are securely fastened to your feet. I don't mind these trainers getting wet, except I only have one pair. So I better hope that they dry tonight in the hotel. Lots of wet, soggy people walking in the opposite direction, so I'm glad I put my rain jacket on. Glad I bought this rain jacket actually when I arrived, and I think we're going around this valley now, and then we should arrive at the waterfall. Okay, my camera is getting absolutely soaked now, so I'm gonna try and pack it away. View from the top, it's absolutely spectacular. You can see the waterfall all behind me here, but I'm not gonna keep this camera out too long because it's just this fine mist the whole time. So, wow, look at that. Okay, so I definitely think this tops the best waterfalls I've ever been to. Limit, really beautiful, and it goes all the way around. Super cool. Alright, looks like I'm getting wet again. Now we're heading, there's a place called Blue Lake here, but to get to that you have to wade through another river, which is kind of cool. It's like proper adventure, you know? It's like just an ongoing adventure. It's super fun. Oh wow, those guys are swimming. Yeah, it's a really fun little adventure to come down here. I love it. And more water. This is a proper wade through the water, this bit. It's quite refreshing. I mean, my feet are already wet, so why not? Alright, so this is the end of the line for me, but basically up there, it's Goa Tete's cave. You can actually go inside the cave. It has the waterfall running on the outside of it, but I have too much camera gear. It's a shame, but I can't go in there. I can't really, like, this camera has already gotten so wet so far, and I have to walk through a literal waterfall to get inside the cave, and it's dripping and everything. So I would say 100% it's going to be worth it. If you come here, go up to Goa Tete's. Alright, back up, and my reward for my hard work is a fried banana. There's a place right at the top. I love these things. So good. You can tell this place is getting more and more popular because there's lots of little bits of construction happening around. Here it looks like they're building a tented camp. So they're obviously getting ready for, well, they're in the midst of a boom already. You get a lot of people down here, and these guys, of course, are cashing in. Please get your fried banana. 1,000 rupiah. Even if that's tourist prices, pay it. So just realized that my exposure was completely off then. I've been shooting pictures in between, and down in the valley there was very, very dark, and so you may not have actually been able to see me in that last clip. But I'm sure my wonderful editor will be able to work with that clip and make it look amazing. So Calvin, that's for you. Right, so while I tuck into my breakfast from the hotel, which is actually pretty good, nice little nasi goreng there. While I tuck into that, I thought I'd just do a quick summary of the experience here at Tumpak Sewu. So a couple of things. Number one, your feet are gonna get wet. There's no point trying to avoid it. You might as well just embrace it, enjoy, and just let your feet get wet. In terms of footwear, I liked wearing trainers. It gives me a bit more support, but I now have wet trainers. So you can wear flip-flops, but they might slide around a little bit too much. Or I noticed they're actually renting shoes that you can actually get them here, but that might be fine if you have a generic foot size, but I don't with my size 12. So I didn't see that until after anyway. Secondly, you have two choices really. You're gonna get wet from the spray that comes from the waterfall. So you can either wear a rain jacket like I did, or in hindsight now, probably what I would have done is just wore clothes that I don't mind getting wet. So just wear clothes that you can get wet and change when you get back to the car, because you're gonna sweat anyway, because it's quite a long walk on the way back up. In terms of how long to spend here, so I read a bit of information online of people saying it takes 45 minutes to get down. It doesn't take 45 minutes, and maybe if you're going very, very slowly. It took me 20 minutes, but let's say it takes you 30 to get to the bottom. And then depending on how you like to do things, if you're just there to see things with your eyes and move on, an hour is probably enough. I was about an hour and 20 minutes down there, but I was stopping and taking pictures. If you like to take a lot of pictures, then an hour and a half is probably your best bet. So full round trip for me was a total of 2 hours basically. Now, in terms of the cost, obviously I booked mine through a tour agency, but if you were to just come here by yourself, you pay 3 different tickets. The first one is 50,000. The second part is another 50,000, and then the last part where the caves are is 20,000. So that's a total of 120,000 rupiah. If you would like to have a guide, which I always recommend that you do, because number one, they know all the best angles for photos to take. Number two, they know the best spots, like where to go and how to avoid the crowds. And number three, you're supporting somebody from the local community. So I personally always prefer to have a guide. If you would like a guide here, that will cost you 200,000 rupiah. That's a total for this experience, not including the driver, of 320,000 rupiah, or dollars. We'll stick it down below. All right, that concludes my day at Tumpak Sewu waterfall. There was one more thing I don't know if I mentioned. If you want to get there and not be inundated with hundreds of tourists, go early. We actually arrived at 6:45, so we got there at 6:45. The guide wasn't actually ready because we were supposed to meet him at 7, so we had to wait for a little while, but I ended up going in at just before 7 a.m, which online it says 7 a.m. is when the gates open, but I think they do let you in sooner because there was already people down there. It was very manageable. Like, yeah, there's quite a few people there, but it's such a huge place that they're quite scattered, and people tend to just be in this one spot where they want to have their photo taken, and then in a different spot where they want to have a photo taken. So it really wasn't bad at that time, but bear in mind, so I was down in the waterfall by 7:30, and then I was out again by 9 o'clock, and apparently over 500 people a day are going in there, so it gets very, 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 very busy. I would not recommend getting there after 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, because I think that's then when the huge rush comes. Really cool experience, but I guess it depends. If you are not a morning person, I think a lot of these kinds of activities, I feel like you would get a slightly more disappointing version. Like I will happily get up in the middle of the night to do something cool to make sure that I'm there early. Whereas if you're like, hell no, I don't get out of bed before 7 a.m. or whatever, then sorry, like your experience is not gonna be as good as if you just bite the bullet, get up. I mean, it's now just after lunchtime and I'm already back to Surabaya, which is 3.5 hours drive away from the waterfall. So I would much rather get up early, get things done and get out of there, and then I've got the afternoon to chill. Hopefully I'm gonna go to the gym. There's a gym just down the road. The hotel that I'm staying in this time is not as nice as the one yesterday. So wait, let me show you. So we've got like some beautiful decor there on the walls. Yum, so clean. Oh, look at that. That's nice. And the wallpaper peeling off beside me. And of course, this view. Beautiful view. But I do know the reason that the tour company put me in this hotel is directly opposite the train station, so I don't have to get a taxi in the morning. I'm just here to sleep at the end of the day. The bed sheets look clean. Bed feels comfortable-ish. Air conditioning is working, so I'm gonna go to the mall, which is just at the end of the road, to do a bit of work because I do not want to be working inside this room. Yeah, come back just to sleep. But my summary of this 2 days, 1 night tour, which is, I would say, is arguably East Java's most popular tour, which is going to Mt Bromo and going to Tumpak Sewu and stopping over 1 night. I think it is absolutely worth it if you don't mind getting up in the middle of the night or at super early hours of the morning. You are going to see things that are not like anything you've seen before. Views that are not like any views you've seen before. You know, that waterfall today was definitely the most beautiful waterfall that I've ever been to. Mt Bromo was a really cool experience. But all of these things, they are getting busier. So my concern, I guess, is where does it go from here? I know, for example, later in the week I'm going to Yogyakarta, well, it's actually tomorrow, and I'm going to the famous temples there. They've actually put a limit on how many people can go there at certain times of the day, which is great. I don't know if you can do that with Mt Bromo and things like that. It seems that it is already at capacity, and the more popular these places get, the worse that side of things is going to get. Yeah, it's hard to say what's it going to look like in 2 years time even, as I know a lot of people have been sort of promoting East Java recently. We are now, I guess, as well. Either way, it's awesome. I think the local economy is really benefiting from the tourism. The guides are making money. You know, these guys are getting paid a couple of $100,000 for just doing a tour. The Mt Bromo guide gets paid, I think he told me 500,000 rupiah for doing the sunrise, and that's like his side hustle. So overall, guys, a really cool experience. I am going to link down below the company that I have used to book this tour. You don't have to use them. I just have found they've been very organized. I've been in constant communication via WhatsApp with the owner of the company, who has been organizing guides, organizing drivers. I've had to do nothing. The first thing that I've had to do is tomorrow walk myself across the road to the train station. Apart from that, they've taken care of everything, and for a very, very reasonable price as well. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Sorry that it's just me and I'm not with my family, but you know, at least we got to put some content out there. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to smash that like button and show us some appreciation. And if you want to see more cool adventures from around the world, predominantly family adventures, but also I do some solo traveling as well, please join the channel, subscribe, and turn on those notifications, because you might miss out on cool uploads just because I've moved to a different location and the algorithm is not sending the video your way. So with that, I'm gonna walk down the road, go to the shopping mall, have myself a Starbucks, and then go to the gym. See you guys.